Morning. How we doing today, fellas? Morning. Good. Anybody do something interesting over the last couple of days? Anything interesting happen to anybody? For anybody? With anybody? Mother? Mother went to the Nuggets game? Where you sit? You sat in the suite? You got in the suite? Pops. Tell Pops I said what's up, man. Who else? That's good. Did they win? They ended up winning? They lost? Who they play? Oh, man. Yeah, Minnesota ain't playing. That was dropped, that many?
I don't remember. I left like third quarter of last week.
Good job. That's good. Good job. Anybody else? Yes, sir?
Me and my wife had our 16-week ultrasound.
Stand up and say that.
Me and my wife had our 16-week ultrasound yesterday. Having a boy.
Boy or girl?
Having a boy.
Yeah. What's our names? Warren? Warren Sapp? What's the name?
Conrad.
Conrad?
Conrad.
That's a good, wholesome name. Conrad. Anybody else? Conrad.
Let him make it.
Who else? Anybody else? Anybody Denzel fans? Best actor ever, right?
Yep.
Ever. I don't want to see no more Titans. Let me put on this next thing. Good, sir.
Yes, sir.
The whole team sees you. And this is why I can't, he's not old enough to be my father, but I love him to life. He's the greatest actor ever. Yes, sir. Ever.
Yeah.
And he wanted to talk to y'all. So, you got it, Pop?
All right. How y'all doing, first of all? How's everybody? Good. First of all, in any and everything I say, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing in God's sight. I know that you're preached to all the time by your coach, but I can honestly tell you, as a man of God who's been through every machination of faith, from faith to effort, not effort, F-it. You know, I rejected God. I hated God. I loved God. I appreciated God. I've had no patience with God, and God has had nothing but patience with me. That's why they call it grace. As I've said many times when I speak to people or in different quotes, I say you'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. You can't take it with you. Now, who's the star of the team? Now, I've never seen you guys play, actually. I've seen, the highlight Sports Center. Where's the QB? Raise your hand, I can't see you. Where is he? That's your son? Huh? He graduated already. See, but like I'm saying, I don't know. Who's the star of this team? Raise your hand. All right, I'll put the egos on the line now. Who thinks they're the best player on the team? Raise your hand. Uh-oh. Okay, here's the real important question. Who thinks they're the worst player on this team? Now, go on, be honest now. All right, I'll ask it a different way. Who thinks that they'll never get a chance to start? Raise your hand. That's good that I see nobody. The reason I got P on my hat, my son graduated from University of Pennsylvania, but really the reason I have P on is the 3 words I wrote down this morning was platform, purpose, and potential. We all have different platforms. Some will be stars, some will never be stars. We all have a purpose in our life. And I'm here to tell you, God did not put you here to play football. He gave you that gift, but that's not your purpose. in life, because one knee, one shoulder, one ankle, one Achilles, one concussion could end that. Without foundation, you know, there's an old saying: unless you go for something, you'll go for anything. Unless you go for God, unless you have that deep root. Here, let me read this. I read this today, talking about a deep root. There's a book I read, Words of Jesus for Men. Y'all can look it up. And today it said, the rocky places of the heart. Others, like seed sown on rocky places, hear the word and at once receive it with joy. But since they have no root, they only last a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, others, like seed sown on rocky places, hear the word and at once receive it with joy. But since they have no root, they only last a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, they quickly fall away. A good example of a rocky heart is one that is focused on comfort. Football players. Everything must go, let me read it again. A good example of a rocky heart is one that is focused on comfort. Everything must go according to plan and run smoothly. When people think that that's what Jesus can offer them, they eagerly approach it. But when the heat is on, they become despondent and walk away. Do people promise you that Jesus will solve all your problems? That you'll always have enough money, be healthy, have a good marriage, have healthy children, and get the job you want? So what are you going to do with Jesus when these things don't materialize? When you blow that knee out? Many people lose all these things when they surrender their lives to God. And then the rocky heart says, yeah, thank you, Lord, thank you, but no thank you. In this same way, Jesus lost most of his disciples. And then down below it says, have you ever felt disappointed when Jesus didn't do what you asked of him? I have. I had a rocky place in my heart and deserted God. But thank God he had mercy on me. So the question is, and it asks, what does your heart look like? I've been through everything. I've been on the top and I've been on the bottom. And it's fascinating, when I was on the bottom, it was because I was expecting love from people and love from awards. I sat at an Academy Award and I was up for Best Actor. I've been nominated 9 times, more than most people on this planet. But the 2 times I didn't win was when I expected to win. And I was like, yeah, I had faith up until they called the other person's name. Then I went home and drank. And I hit the bottom and I was bitter. We're human. You all have potential. You all have purpose. Football's the platform for your real purpose. You all have potential. The cemeteries are filled with people that never lived up to their potential. You must get everything you can out of your body, your mind, and your spirit. And understand, now you're young, you're in college, so I ain't gonna tell y'all not to go have a beverage or whatever. But the day you waste is the day another person's one step ahead of you. Every day. Every day. Body, mind, spirit, potential. Somebody in this room, who wants to be a billionaire? Raise your hand. Uh-oh. Oh! Who really thinks they're going to get there? Okay. Who doesn't care if they're rich or not? Okay. I like that. I love that. When it comes to critics, remember this. Those who can, do. Those who can't, talk about those who can. They're not going to love you. This world's not going to love you. They're not going to cheer for you. They hate your coach. He's one of the greatest. But they hate him. Some do. There's always going to be haters. That doesn't matter. In your community, in your house, in your dorm, on the field. But you all have the potential to be great men. I don't know what your chosen profession is going to be, but you all have that God-given ability to be great. Now, let me go back to what I said initially. You'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse, which means you can't take it with you. On the last day of your life, and God knows I'm worth hundreds of millions of dollars, on the last day of my life, I can't take it with me. But I can leave it here. And I'm not just talking about money. You can be influential in whatever your chosen field. You have a platform now. You'll have a platform then. You have a purpose now. You'll have a purpose then. You have potential now. Each and every one of you. You are powerful right now. So what are you going to leave here? What is your gift? What will you share? Some will be, I don't know, who's studying psychiatry? Anybody? How about biology? Who wants to be doctor? I see one doctor, okay, he's gonna be taking care of all of y'all. You stand up, sir. Who is that? Stand up. Stand up, doctor. Okay, two doctors. What do you want to study? What medicine?
Orthopedics.
I can't hear you. You gotta yell it.
Orthopedics.
Orthopedics. All right, sit down, doctor. Who that's standing up over there? You want to go to the bathroom over there? All right, y'all sit down. Who are the mathematicians? Who's gonna make money? Math. Let me see the math majors stand up.
Stand up.
No math majors? Come on, stand up. Don't be shy. What do y'all want to do?
Engineering.
Engineering. All right.
I'm a finance and real estate major.
There you go. Oh, so they all gonna be buying from you, huh?
That's right.
Uh-oh, he's got potential. He's got potential. I believe it. I believe it. How's your grades?
They're good.
Good. All right, sit down. Who has the worst grades in the room? No, better stand up. Who got the worst grade? Come on now. Stand up. If you see average or below, stand up. Oh, I love that.
I was on that list.
Okay. Are you the kicker? Okay, let me tell y'all something. I had C grade or less because I didn't have direction. I'll say this to you also. You do not have to know at 17, 18, 19 years old what you're going to do the rest of your life. It's okay. To get a liberal arts degree is okay. I started off in biology. I figured I'd want to be a doctor. I don't know. I'd go to college. Okay, I'll be a doctor. That didn't work out so good. Whereas they say in the commercial, I'm not a doctor, but I played one on TV. I actually did play one on TV. Then I wanted to be a lawyer. So I studied political science. I moved on from that. Then I studied, we got some political science majors in there. Let's see, political science. I saw you shaking that head. You want to be an attorney?
Yes, sir.
Ah, see, I tried that too. I wanted to be a doctor, then I wanted to be an attorney. Then I went to journalism. I said, well, I'll be a writer. Any journalism majors in there, raise your hand. Anybody studying journalism? I see a hand back there in the back, stand up. Is that a journalism major back there? Okay. Then I found my way, in my junior year of college, I found my way to acting. I never wanted to be an actor. I never thought about acting. I didn't know any actors, but I found out very quickly that that was my God-given ability. And I found out over this 40, 50-year career that it was my God-given purpose. God did not put me on this planet to act. God put me on this planet to preach. Wait a minute. See if I can find this. In March 27th, 1975, I had flunked out of college. I had flunked out of college, and I was sitting in my mother's beauty parlor. My mother owned a beauty parlor, a beauty shop, and a woman was sitting under the dryer, and every time I looked up, she was looking at me. And granted, now this is before I had flunked out of college. I tried medicine and tried biology. She said, young man, you're gonna travel the world and preach to millions of people. And I was like, huh? She said, you're gonna travel the world and preach to millions of people. Now, I don't know if you can see this. Can you read that? Can y'all see that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, on the top there, it says prophecy. She couldn't even spell it right. This piece of paper is 50 years old. Then underneath it, when my mother wrote my name, it was like on an old envelope. It's so old that the name fell off. Then underneath it, I wrote the date, which was March 27, 1975. Now, for some reason, she wrote 28. You can see 28 there on the top?
Yep.
Can you see it? Say yes, can you
Yes,
see it? Okay. I don't know if she wrote 28 because she thought it was my birthday, or if she wrote 28 because it was the 28th, but I wrote March 27th. Well, I'm born on the 28th. My wife's born on the 28th. My oldest son's born on the 28th. Now, I don't know if that's coincidence, but my point is this. She didn't say you're going to be famous. She didn't say I was going to win an Oscar. She didn't say any of that. She said, and she was known to be a prophet, she said that I was going to travel the world and preach to millions of people. And now, 50 years later, I get the opportunity with the University of Colorado football team. So really, I'm practicing with y'all. I'm not preaching to you or at you. I'm sharing my experience with you. You can't take it with you, but you can leave it here. Love, you can leave here. Grace, you can leave here. Science, health that you share with others. What you do for others is much more important than what you do for yourself. Sharing, giving, loving, being patient is the most important gift that you have. I'll say it again. It's the most important gift that you have. What you do for others in a society that only wants to be seen. Look at me, Instagram me, FaceTime me. How many followers do I have? That pronoun, unfortunately, we have landed it in your lap as young men and women. I, me, look at me, how much can I get? I'm willing to do anything to be seen. Now, I'm not asking you to do what I do, but I don't even have Instagram. I don't have Facebook. I don't have TikTok. I don't have any of that. But one thing we both have in common, you and I, and that's potential. One thing we have in common is purpose. One thing we all have in common is a platform. And one thing we all have in common is God-given ability. Use it, share it, appreciate it, understand it. You don't have to know now, but understand you were put on this planet for a purpose. Each and every one of you. Some things some of your potential will be realized by your children. If you haven't helped, there's no hope. If you haven't helped, there's no hope. What an opportunity. Even on your worst day, it's an opportunity to have a better day tomorrow. I call that, I'm 70 years old now. I'll take the hat off, you know. Your coach is almost as handsome as me, but he ain't as handsome as me, you know. He ain't as handsome, I can't even see. He ain't as handsome as me. He's a man of God, and I'm not here to tell you what you need to believe in. But I can tell you, if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything. It's hard enough when you believe. Any questions? Raise your hand. I'll answer some questions. Come on now, somebody ask a question. Yep. Is there a microphone so I can hear? Anybody?
You gonna yell it.
You said that when
Yell
you're
it.
like, you said like when you're like 17 to 18, you don't have to figure out where what you want to do in life. Where's that time range? Like, what year do you think you gotta have things figured out?
I'm 70 years old. I'm still figuring them out. Now, you got to declare a major. You know, you're in college for a reason. But my point being, don't be disappointed if you don't know. Some people know when they're 9 years old, I'm going to be a doctor. Who knew from the time they was 10 what they wanted to be and they still chasing it now? Raise your hand. Okay, not as many as you think. Most of us don't, and that's okay. You're at the right place, at the right time, doing the right thing with the right leader, with the right teachers, with the right coaches. So you don't have to know. I can't give you a date. For me, it was 20 years old. Now it's interesting. That woman told me that that prophecy when I was 20. That was March. That summer, because I always work with children. I grew up in the Boys and Girls Club, YMCA. So I was a counselor at a camp at the YMCA. That summer, the counselors put on a show for the kids, right? So I got up there making up little bad rhymes. He said, well, what about Joe? I'm like, well, what does he know? He goes, well, what about you? Well, I'm in 10 too. Whatever, I was making up these bad rhymes. And anyway, a guy came up to me afterwards and said, man, you ever thought about being an actor? It's like you got a gift or something. I was like, really? I didn't, you know. So that's how I found my way. Next question. Come on, somebody, where are you? Stand up, can't see. I see you back there, number 3. Speak up.
Like when you were growing up, who was like your idol or your hero?
Gail Sayers. Y'all don't know, look up number 40, Gail Sayers. You know, all I did was play football. I was fast. I was a quarterback in Pee Wee football. I was a running back. My son made fun of me because I went to a little small high school where it was only 6-man football. He said, Dad, it was only like 3 of y'all. It was like 3-man football. Gail Sayers, Jim Brown. You know, I wanted to go to Texas Tech University because they were called the Red Raiders. And our team at the Boys Club were called the Red Raiders. I'm thinking they named their team after us. From the time I could remember, I wanted to be a cowboy. The reason was, we used to shift. We would stand up and shift like that. And the Cowboys back in that day, your coach can tell you, they would stand up and shift like that. So the Cowboys became my team. We're having a rough time now. It's been a rough couple of decades, but so that was the case. What was the question again? Ask me the question again. You said what?
I said like, who is your idol or your hero?
Yeah, in sports it was Jim Brown, it was Gail Sayers. With acting, I didn't really, well, I wanted to be like the guys you've never heard of, probably like Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. They were the great actors of my time. You know, there was a guy in my neighborhood named Donald Fletcher. I tried to walk like him. I tried to be cool like him. I had one foot in the streets. The only reason I'm not talking to you from the penitentiary is by the grace of God. My 3 closest friends did about 100 years. One did about 40. You know, he just got out. The other 2 are dead. And only by the grace of God, I didn't go. I did what they did. I shot dope when I was 13 years old. I sold dope, sold reefer, sold heroin, sold cocaine. I was shooting dope at 13 years old, but it wasn't God's plan for me. So we all fall short of the glory. I ain't got no fairy tale life to tell you about, but I ain't no killer, but I grew up with killers. I've seen people killed. I was with a couple of them the night they got killed. That's life. That's just the way it is. Next question. Stand up. Stand up. Can't see you. Stand up back there. Where are you? Yell it out. I can't hear you.
You ain't yelling.
Okay.
What moment in your life did you find God on your own and, not from like your parents and stuff?
It goes back to what I read you. You know, you find him, but without deep roots, he ain't the favor bank. You know, he ain't the favor bank. Hey, Lord, give me this. Oh, Lord, you do that for me. Lord, let me make it to the league. God found me long before I knew I found him. You heard me?
Yes, sir.
That's why they call it grace. You know, the devil had me by the ankles. He's like, I can get this one, I can get him. God said, no, he's one of mine. Yeah, he gonna fall. Yeah, he gonna. I'll tell you a story. This is a true story. Now this is gonna get out, but I don't care. This is how much God blessed me. The one time that I shot dope in my arm, I was in private school, and we were in the bathroom, and the guy was showing me how, and the headmaster of the school came in, and literally the needle was dangling in my arm, and we could hear him. And we said, if he come in here, I know if he come in here, it's over for me. And he didn't come in. And we finished doing what we were doing. My point being, that was the grace and protection of God even then. At 13, I didn't know what I was doing. I was following those that were the example for me. And that's what they were doing. You know, we all want to be like the cool guy. So, it's been a 70-year journey with the Lord. I was filled with the Holy Spirit in the 80s, and I still wanted to go party. I still wanted to chase women and do all of those kind of things. I don't do any of those things now. You know, you get old enough, hopefully you get wiser. But wherever you are in your walk, it's not a competition. There's nobody closer to God than the next person. Your individual path is your individual path. And it's okay to talk to God like you talking to your father, like, look, man, what's this about? Why am I breaking my leg now? You know, talk to me. I talk to God like that. Here's the thing I would say to each and every one of you. Get up in the morning and be quiet. I'm not talking about prayer. I'm just talking about be quiet. Put your feet on the floor. Try to take 2 minutes and just be quiet. Breathe. Listen. It's hard because your mind starts going to what you got to do that day and why didn't I make that play and am I going to make it and why don't she like me and how am I going to get her and all of that stuff and it's a good discipline. Next question. Stand up. Come. I see you back there in the corner in the white. Yell it out.
Could you give me your top 5 favorite movies that you've performed in?
I always say this. People say, what's your favorite movie? I say my next one. What's your favorite game that you've ever played in? It's your next one. Because it's your opportunity to do better. My favorite movie is my next one. Right now, I'm doing Othello, Shakespeare. It's my favorite. I don't have a favorite movie. The movies that I like, some people don't even talk about. I tell you this, more people talk about Equalizer now than any other movies I did put together. I don't know what it is. They just like seeing me killing people. Who's that right there in the front next to the videographer? Right there, number 16, is that you right there? Yeah, I got a feeling you want to ask something. Stand up.
I just really like the Equalizer.
Say again?
I really like the Equalizer.
Oh, you like, I didn't ask you which movie you like.
That's why I was like, nodding.
Okay. Coach, anything else you want me to talk about? Yes, sir, I see you back there. Go ahead.
Yeah, so with all the success that you've had, like what is your focus to keep your mind going to the next movie or to be the best when everybody's already giving you the praise you've gotten so far?
Here's something else for you. When you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too. But eventually, good things grow out of that mud. Boy, fame ain't all it's made up to be. Power and privilege and fame and wealth, hopefully you'll see, but it's not all, it's all made up to be. So yeah, you can pray that it rains on you, but you got to deal with the mud. You be looking up and look down and realize you're 7 feet deep in mud. It's thick. People don't like it. People don't like seeing you do well. We are in the world, but don't be of it. Don't rely on it for your happiness. Rely on the Almighty. Do not rely on this world for your happiness, because it'll tell you Tuesday that they love you and Wednesday that they hate you. They probably said that about your team. You know, it's not consistent. It won't sustain you. Yes, sir.
Let's clap it up for us.
I can't hear you. It's breaking up.
I love you. I appreciate you. I can't wait to call you after this. And you don't understand, I almost ran off the road when you FaceTimed me that first time. I didn't know what to do. So I appreciate you and I love you. And I can't wait to get up to New York to see you. Do your thing.
Hey, remember this, fellas. Today is an opportunity to be the best you that you can be. Whatever comes your way, whatever obstacles come your way, what an opportunity to overcome them and do better. C student, what an opportunity you have to be a B student. A student, what an opportunity you have to help that C student. Help each other, protect each other. That's why they call it a team. You're a unit. Now, I'm not a prophet, but I'm gonna say this now. If y'all don't send me a ticket to the national championship when you get there, then don't ever act like don't ever go to none of my movies ever again. I don't want to know you, because I know you're gonna be there. And you remember that Denzel Washington said you are going to the national championship. Now, some of you may not go with this team, but you're going to the national championship in life anyway. God bless you. I love you. Good luck to you. And I'm out.
That is awesome. You go home and call and tell your mothers and your fathers and your aunties and even your girlfriend what just transpired in this room today, they're not going to believe it. That's the grace and the mercy and the blessing and the power that you guys have to have the opportunity to witness and to hear and to glean from that. That was unbelievable. Now, on another note, let's get back to football. Good and bad. We got good and bad.